Hello, sports fans, and welcome to the Scott Sports 101 Late Games Postgame Show, Sunday Night Football Update Show. We're going to go over the late games right now. First off, we're going to go to the. I'm sorry about the technical problems, but now we got it. The the Arizona Cardinals beat the wallop the L.A. Rams, who fall 0-2 on the season. The Cardinals end up their record at 1-1, 41-10 today at State Farm Stadium, and I took Arizona and won on that one. My brother-in-law did as well. He took the Cardinals. Uh, Arizona quarterback Kyler Murray asked about his well asked about asked, he asked about his thoughts during a spectacular play in the first half. And, the one where we had Houdini like scramble, avoid the trouble before figuring out a way to pick up a gain. That's what Murray thought for a moment. Then a little grin crossed his face. Now, the Rams, they just did not have it today. They were held to just one field goal and one touchdown. So I got to give the game balls to uh, Matthew Stafford, uh, Kyron Williams, and Demarcus Robinson. Gotta give him to him. I gotta give him to those. The Cincinnati Bengals. Whoa, the Cincinnati Bengals had a 25-point lead slip away in the final seconds. Harrison Butler kept making a lonely walk to midfield each quarter, and that final seconds he kicked a game-winning field goal that won it for the Bengals, 26-25, and boy, the Bengals held the lead, that 2-point lead, throughout the third and fourth quarter, but they just could not keep a hold on it, and they let one get. They fought 0-2, and Kansas City goes to 2-0, and I give the game boss Patrick Mahomes, Isaiah Pacheco, and Rishi Rice. And so Cincinnati will have to regroup for their next opponent to try to go to 1-2 next week. And rounding out the late games, the Pittsburgh Steelers. Oh, and I took Kansas City and won in that one, and my brother-in-law took the Bengals and lost. Rounding out the late games, the Pittsburgh Steelers beat the Denver Broncos 13-6 in Empire Field Stadium at Mile High, and Justin Fields and the Pittsburgh Steelers squeaked past the sputtering Denver Broncos. Uh, and 13 Sunday with Russell Wilson reprising his bitter role as sideline spectator in the Mile High City, and but that didn't stop anybody. And with the first journey for Jarrett Stidham hit him, and with the rookie Bo Mix fizzled into a footnote QB status, cap sideline for him for the second straight week, and but and he says it was nice to win again. Fields said of Wilson in his return to Denver. Fields threw a touchdown pass, finished with 13 for 20, 13 for 20, 20 for 13 for 20 attempts and for 117 yards with no interceptions to help Pittsburgh go to 2-0, beat the Broncos 0-2 for the third consecutive time. And so Denver will have to regroup for their next opponent, and I give the game balls to Justin Fields, Najee Harris, not Nate Harris, it's Najee Harris, and Pat Freiermuth. So those were the late games, and we're going to go over all the early games one more time. The Baltimore Ravens are 0-2 for the first time since 2015, as the Raiders kicked the game-winning field goal in the final seconds to win it, 26-23. The Los Angeles Chargers are 2-0. They walloped Atlanta 26-3. The New Orleans Saints were all over Dallas, walloped them 44-19 today at Big D in AT&T Stadium. Tampa Bay, Baker Mayfield and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, they beat Detroit 20-16, and Detroit falls to 1-1. The Bucks go to 2-0. The Green Bay Packers beat the Indianapolis Colts at legendary Lambeau Field in Green Bay, Wisconsin. Green Bay to 2-0. Indianapolis Colts fall to 1-1, and Green Bay just they really played a really good game. Indianapolis came back in the fourth and scored, but it was not enough. So the Browns beat the Jacksonville Jaguars to about an 0-2 start, 18-13 today at Everbank Stadium in Jacksonville. And the Minnesota Vikings upset the San Francisco 49ers 23-17 at the Vikings home field, their home field. And Seattle beat New England in overtime 23-20. And New England had tied it up 20-20 to go into overtime, but they couldn't get the game winner that they needed. And the New York Jets beat the Tennessee Titans at Nissan Stadium in Tennessee 24-17. And the Titans go to 0-2, and the Jets are 1-1, and the Washington Commanders beat the New York Giants at FedEx Field in Washington 21-18, and the Giants are 0-2, Jets 1-1. Commanders 1-1. Right now, I am 7-7, and my brother-in-law is 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 6 and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 6 and 8. So that's all of today's action. And right now in the third quarter, the Houston Texans are beating the Chicago Bears 16-10. And I'm going to read the preview right now. I'm going to just read what they've written for the preview. The Houston Texans had the most yards in rushing in the NFL with 213 in Week 1 win over Indianapolis, and they're 417 total yards, ranked second. Not bad, the Texans say, but they're certain they can do much more as they prepare for this week's Sunday Night Football matchup as they're playing it right now against the Bears. I feel like we've got a lot of room to grow as an offense. Running back Joe Mixon said, what we did Sunday, that was just scratching the surface. Adding quarterback CJ Stroud, I definitely think that we barely showed what we've got. What they have this year is a powerful running game led by former Bengals star Joe Mixon that has bolstered an offense run by Stroud, and which added a star receiver Stephon Diggs this offseason. Mixon had a career-high 30 carries for 159 yards and a touchdown in his Houston debut, and to earn an AFC Offensive Player of the Week honors. Early indications are that he will give a steady presence at running back after years of struggles at the position. Coach DeMeco Ryans gave Mixon and the running game credit for carrying the team Sunday. The most important factor of our success on Sunday, obviously, was running the football, Ryan said. Being able to control the game, that was the biggest thing for us. We haven't had that in a while. So for us to be able to do that, you see how the game flows much better for us when we're able to line up and run the football. For the Bears, the best way to describe their offensive performance in the opener against Tennessee would be forgettable. Number 1 overall pick Caleb Williams completed just 14 of 29 passes for 93 yards, and Chicago did not score a touchdown on offense, but the Bears rallied from a 17-point deficit to win thanks to a touchdown on defense and a special team score. There's a lot of and there's a lot of things Williams would like to do better, but he is encouraged that the team still managed to get a win despite his struggles. Uh, he is the first number one pick to win his first start since David Carr helped Houston to a victory over Dallas in the first game in franchise history in 2002. Uh, you woke up and realized that you won your first game in the NFL, regardless of how you felt of your performance, Williams said. We won our first game and felt super excited, and felt super excited about not necessarily how I actually performed, but like I said, being able to come out with that and win and being able to help lead these guys to a win feels good. Really excited. It builds confidence when you can come out and do that. Williams could be down two key wide receivers. Ricky Roma undone's knee, and six-time Pro Bowler Keenan Allen, he had a heel, are game time decisions. O'Dunn's practiced Friday on a limited basis after sitting out the previous 2 days, while Allen did not practice at all this week. The Bears were at least breathing a little easier this week after an MRI on O'Dunn's knee showed up no major structural damage. Drafted ninth overall, he sprained his MCL blocking late in the Tennessee game and hopped off the field on the next play. Allen, acquired in a trade with the Los Angeles Chargers, has been dealing with a heel issue for a few weeks. Allen and O'Dunn's were two of the biggest additions behind Williams in an offseason overhaul to the offense, with DJ Moore in his second season in Chicago with the Bears might have one of the deepest wide receiver groups. The injuries could mean Tyler Scott, a healthy and active last week, starts. You're looking for an opportunity, a crack in the door, Coach Matt Eberfest said, because it's a strong receiving group that we feel that we have this year, and again, we will have to prove it. Uh, but I would say that opportunity, when the door opens, you take your opportunity and run with it. Uh, Stroud didn't waste any time getting things going with Diggs in their first game together after last week's blockbuster trade from Buffalo. Stroud threw two touchdown passes against the Colts, and were both were to Diggs. The quarterback believes the time spent together in the offseason has helped them mesh quickly. Uh, just a lot of work away from the spotlight, Stroud said. Him coming to LA, me going to Paris to see him and throw out there, just really all the times where nobody sees. So that's where the work, you see it pay off. Diggs joined Tampa Bay's Mike Evans and Alan Lazard of the New York Jets as the only players to have two TD receptions last week. Bears cornerback Tyreek Stevenson is off to a good start after finishing last season on a strong note. Excuse me. The second-year pro was an NFC Defensive Player of the Week for the second time in 3 games, going back to last season. After returning, after returning, uh, after after returning an interception for 43 yards for the go-ahead touchdown against Tennessee in his first career score. Stevenson also took those honors for his performance in Week 17 last year, when he had 2 interceptions in a win over Atlanta. And with Pro Bowler Jalen Johnson at the other quarterback spot, quarterbacks will have a tough time finding openings. This defense is just looking at me to be the guy that I am at practice, Stevenson said. make the plays that come to me, catch the balls that come to me, and be able to make sure that I can funnel everything back into this defense because I ain't no weak link just because there's an all-pro corner over there. So that was basically what they said in this preview that I wanted to read to you. Uh, Now I'm gonna go over what we've had so far in the first half and the first part of the third quarters. Still 16-10, 5:32 to go. 4th and 7 at the Houston, and the Bears have the ball. First quarter, the Texans kicked a field goal. They tried to get a touchdown, couldn't do it. Fairbairn kicked a 56-yard field goal, which was good, and it was 3-0 Houston. Then the Bears tried to score a touchdown, and it was Williams sacked at the Houston 35 for 40 yards, and they couldn't do it. They got into field goal range. Santos kicked a 53-yard field goal, and it was good, and it was 3-3 tied. And the Texans scored their first touchdown of the game. C.J. Stroud passed a short middle to, I think it was Nate Collins for 28 yards, and then Fairbank's extra point was good, and then it was 10-3 at the end of the first quarter. In the second quarter, the Bears had to punt after going 3 out, 3 plays, and 6 yards, and then the Texans tried to score another touchdown. The C.J. Stroud passed short right to Stephon Diggs, pushed out of bounds to Chicago 29 for 5 yards. Tyree Stevenson, Houston challenged the play. The short of the line gaining ruling on the play was upheld. The ruling on the field stands, and then the Texans took a timeout, and then they got in the field goal range. And Fairbank kicked a 47-yard field goal, and it was good. And now it's 13-3. The Bears had to punt again after going 3 and out. 7 plays, 3 yards, and Houston had to punt after going 3 and out. 3 plays, minus 1 yard. And then the Bears scored their first touchdown of the game. Santa and it was Herbert. I think it was Terrell Herbert left end for the 2-yard touchdown. Santos' extra point is good, and it was 13-10 Houston. Then at the end of the second quarter, just before halftime, they tried to score a touchdown. C.J. Stroud's pass was incomplete. Short right at the 1st and 15 at the Chicago 41 for no gain. Then over the 2nd and 15 at the Chicago 41, they got in the field goal range. Fairbairn's 59-yard field goal is good, and it was a 16-10 at halftime, Texans lead. Now in the third quarter, the Bears had to punt after going 3 and out again, 3 plays, 7 yards. And then the Texans had to punt after going 3 and out, 3 plays, 23 yards. And then the Bears had to punt again after they got the ball back after going 3 and out, 3 plays and 12 yards. And the Texans had to punt after they got the ball back again after going 3 and out, 3 plays, minus 5 yards. And the Bears now, they got the ball and had to go 3 and out after going 3 and out after 5 plays and 18 yards. And that's basically where we stand right now. Houston has the ball. It's 2nd and 5 at the Houston. It doesn't say, but Houston has the ball. So, and right now we'll see if Houston can hold on and get the win in this game. So, and tomorrow night, Philly takes on Atlanta at Lincoln Financial Field in Philadelphia. Well, that's just about going to wrap it up for the Scott Sports 101 late games post-game show and our Sunday Night Football update show. I'll be back with the Sunday Night Football post-game show once the game between the Bears and Texans has concluded. But until then, always remember, be a team player each and every day in every way possible. So long, everybody. 3, 2, 1, I'm done.